Tea. New background. And my first sponsored episode. So yes, like I said before, this is my very first sponsored episode, which I'm super excited about. So big thanks to Cape Backdrop for sponsoring this episode and for sending me this sweet backdrop, because we're gonna talk about lighting today. So lighting is absolutely everything when it comes to film and photography. In fact, it sets the mood and the tone of your scene. And if you wanna go really meta, it can actually be an extension of the character in that scene. So whether they're scared or they're sad, oftentimes lighting will set that tone or mood. So enough of me talking, we're just gonna get straight into it, and I'm gonna show you different lighting techniques, what they evoke, and how you can use them in your setup. Let's go. So the first lighting setup I want to talk about is called broad lighting. And what that means is that the light source is facing in the same direction as the camera towards the subject. So for example, in an interview, if I'm looking at the interviewer and the camera's facing towards me, the light source should be over here filling most of my face and creating a little bit of shadow. That's called broad lighting. Short lighting is the opposite, is when the light source is opposite the camera. I actually prefer short lighting because it adds a little bit of drama. It also refines the shape of the face of the subject, and it just looks cool. Now, broad lighting is usually associated with light-hearted things. Short lighting adds a little bit of drama because of the shadow it creates on the face, giving a little bit more of a dramatic feel. Don't know why I did this. The next lighting setup is called Rembrandt Lighting, which is actually my favorite type of lighting amongst many other filmmakers. To achieve this kind of lighting, all you have to do is place your light setup at an angle so that it shapes the subject's face with light and shadow, and also creates this really cool triangle on the opposite side of the face. If you have a constant light source like a small LED panel, just move it around until you see that triangle. Push it closer, pull it farther out to soften the light, but that kind of lighting is very pleasant and just looks oh so pretty. The next setup is called side lighting, where the light source is lighting up one side of the subject's face. It's not so much used in documentaries, but really more for narratives, especially if you're trying to light up a mysterious character in a scene, or if you want to add some suspense or drama. But if done right, it can look really cool. The next setup is called an overhead lighting. Now this lighting can achieve two things. One, it can actually simulate a stage light, like if you're on a stage, but the other effect is that it can actually give your character some mystery. Ooh. Mysterious. The next setup is the opposite of the overhead, and that's uplighting. Now, this setup, you probably already guessed it because you've seen a lot of movies, can be associated with a lot of horror films or suspense films, especially if you're lighting a character who's the villain or a bad guy in the movie. The way the light shapes the face just makes it so weird and ominous, and you just don't feel good. You don't feel right. I'm tired. No, I'm not. The next setup is called backlighting, which is one of my favorites, and that basically means the light source is behind the subject, often above, creating this cool silhouette, and you see this outline of the subject's body. The next type of lighting is called rim lighting, which is pretty much the same as backlighting, except it's off to the side. Both backlighting and rim lighting produce the similar effect where you kind of keep the subject a mystery, or if you're shooting a music video, you're trying to do something artsy and dramatic and all that stuff. And that's it. Well, hopefully that was helpful to you guys. Go ahead and try out these lighting techniques and let me know how you do. Big thanks again to Cape Backdrop for sponsoring this episode and for also sending me this sweet backdrop. If you guys want to go check them out, go to capebackdrop.com, and if you put in the promo code SD15, they'll take off 15% off your entire order. Just browse through their products, go to the checkout, type in SD15, and you're good to go. You're welcome. What else am I forgetting? Instagram, Twitter? See you there. See ya.